Ooh, it's time for some real talk. I'm here live with my man Jody, Andy and Jody. Tuesday nights live. It means it's real talk, and we did this as a segment because someone clued me into this. I missed this story. I don't know how I missed this story, Jody, but let's react to this live. We were talking about Snyder fans finally open up their eyes to the negative energy out there, the cult, the toxic fans finally stepping up. And someone suggested we talk about this, and let's do it, shall we? So apparently, Jody Joe is here, Jody's Corner. We are here together, and apparently, Ben Affleck called Marvel's Kevin Feige the greatest producer who's ever lived. Wow. Is he trying to get into the Marvel movies instead of the DC movies? Let's see what happens. So I pulled this here from Slash Film. Safe to say Ben Affleck has worked as director, actor, knows a thing or two about producing movies. During a recent roundtable discussion, he had some strong praise for his fellow film producer Kevin Feige, calling him the greatest and most successful producer ever lived. I mean, that's facts from a stamp. I mean, James Cameron, I guess, is up there, but Feige's probably beaten him on the number of films at this point. During a conversation, chatter, Affleck, from former Daredevil star and World's once future Batman, said this about his Daredevil his Daredevil coworker. That's right, we did work with him there, Daredevil. Okay.
Oh, yeah.
I forgot to make that connection. Kevin Feige, we all forget about Daredevil, Ben. Sorry.
We do.
Kevin Feige, who is I have to say, the greatest producer, most successful producer who's ever lived. He's the only guy in the world who, if he told me, like, I know what the audience wants, this is what we're doing, I would believe him 100%. That effer knows his audience like no producer. He's a genius. He's like a master ringmaster. He's like a master ringmaster. He knows exactly how much to wink at the audience, exactly when to pull at the heartstrings, exactly when to do VFX, how many jokes, what the sensibility, what the tone is, because people didn't know if they should run away from the pajamas or embrace it or make it serious. Damn, that's some high praise.
Heavy praise. Ladies and gentlemen, Ben Affleck is at his healthiest moment that he's probably been since adolescence, and he's thinking with a clear mind. He's very much removed from the Snyderverse, but he will be returning back to be in Flashpoint. Even when Barbara and Andy Muschietti came to him and asked him if he wanted to be Batman again, thinking that he never would have said yes, he said yes because he was in a healthy place. This is a very thought-provoked, healed, wholesome Ben Affleck that you got from. He just said that Kevin Feige is the greatest. I'm sorry, that's probably accurate, but the bigger thing that this stands out to me is you worked and you had so much passion and you wanted so bad to be Batman of the future, and it failed. And the person who failed you is the head of that studio at the time, Zack Snyder. This is definitely taking a jab right to Zack Snyder's bottom lip by calling the Marvel producer the genius. He knows what the audience wants. It tells me a lot. It tells me that Ben probably didn't want to be this dark, brooding, killer, murderous Batman in these terrible, dark DC movies, bro. That's what it tells me.
Well, it's interesting. I'm pulling it, because as you were saying that, but Ben Affleck did talk about finally why he played Batman. Did you read that one?
Yeah, something about his children.
Yeah, and
right?
he did. To be fair here, he did call out. I think I'm trying to find the quote here. I think he did.
I'll never forget Sad Flick. I'll never forget that interview after BVS was about to come out, and they said the reception to the movie's kind of mixed. They're and to see how sad Ben Affleck was looking down like that, he was so destroyed. Henry Cavill was playing the game, saying, "Oh well, this, that, the other." Affleck was sitting over there destroyed because that let me know he had so much high hopes for that movie to be good, and it was confirmed with that interview.
Yeah. So here is the quote, just to give full credit. I wore this because I think he did. I thought he did say something about Zack. I'm sorry. I'm trying to pull this quicker. Oh my God, so many ad jumps. But it was about something. He did it for his kids, but I felt like he did at least throw Snyder a quote. I want to try and find it to be fair. But yeah, as I'm looking for this.
He was also supposed to be a director. He was supposed to direct his own Batman movie. He was supposed to be the script writer for that Batman movie and then star in that Batman movie. Now, I really wanted to see that Batman movie because it was going to have Joe Manganiello's Deathstroke in it. And it was going to be probably with him. It was him stuck in Arkham and having to get away from the rogues villain that's locked within. That just sounded amazing to me. And then slowly and surely, he just started to get more distant from it. He wasn't no longer writing the thing. He wasn't no longer directing the thing. And then you hear about Matt Reeves coming in, and I have my own issues with Matt Reeves and his lack of integrity. But when it comes to Ben Affleck, his joy was taken from him because Zack Snyder did not run a proper ship. Listen, I don't like a lot of his movies, Snyder's films, but let's take that out of it. Let's take the opinion of the movies out. Let's talk strictly as a producer, because that's what Ben Affleck is talking about here. Let's leave the filmmaking, the production. In the beginning, Zack Snyder was every bit as powerful as Kevin Feige was. DC didn't have their organization like Marvel did. Feige was appointed to that position. He worked his way up. He had his official title. In the beginning of DC, they just threw the whole entire keys and boat at Snyder and said, make us a universe. Like, make us the movies. He had full, complete power. So he was a super producer. And look what happened to his universe. 5 movies, 4 flops, big issue. When I say flops, I'm talking about expectations. BVS underperformed, Man of Steel underperformed. Suicide Squad did pretty well. Wonder Woman did pretty well.
And just to add, like, because some will say, yeah, but come on, Warner clearly messed all that up. I mean, they messed up Justice League, but Man of Steel and Batman v Superman, whether they like it or not, they weren't as commercially successful as they should have been. Yeah. Those are the 2 biggest heroes in the world.
And that's just commercially successful. Now when you add in critical success, now it gets even bleaker, because now you're adding Suicide Squad to that mix. The only film that under the Snyderverse that actually was good, like Jody said, the ultimate Jody Damas moment, was Wonder Woman. That's the only one. Meanwhile, Marvel and Feige, not only did he have the commercial success, but he had the critical success as well. And Ben Affleck is speaking to that. He is identifying Zack Snyder's lack of quality production here. That's what it tells me, and it's good to hear.
Kevin Feige clearly didn't know what the audience wanted when he made Ben Affleck's Daredevil, though. Let's be fair, because that's when he worked together. And to also be fair, here is what Ben said about Zack. I did Batman because I wanted to do it for my kids. I wanted to do something that my son would dig. I mean, my kids didn't see Argo. Zack wanted to do a version of the Frank Miller Dark Knight graphic novel series, which is a really good version of that. Unfortunately, there are a lot of reasons why things go the way they do in the movie business, and just because your face is on a poster doesn't mean that you're dictating all of those things. And even if you were, they would go, well, I wore the suit. They would go well.
There it is.
I wore the suit to my son's birthday, which was every moment of worth of suffering on Justice League. Jeez, I thought he was nice, but that doesn't read even nice. I mean, it says he did a good version, but look, there's a lot that can be unpacked there of, like, that was clearly a lot of the reasons, right? Because the other thing you got to remember, Zack, beyond Zack and the feeling, Ben was an alcoholic at that phase. He's been very vocal about it. He was in a divorce with Jennifer Garner and everything else. Like, clearly, the suffering of Justice League was beyond just the shooting of Justice League, but also just his own personal style. But go ahead. I know you're going to pounce on something there.
Yes, he says, because this is Justice League. Yeah, mostly Zack, some Joss. Give blame to both. If you want to give most to Joss, fine. That's not what I'm talking about. He says Zack wanted to do a version of the Frank Miller Dark Knight graphic novel series. He's talking about BVS, ladies and gentlemen. Ooh, oh my goodness. He says, which is a really good version of that. He didn't say that's a really good version of Batman. He says Zack wanted to do a version of the Frank Miller Dark Knight graphic novel series, which is a really good version of that, not Batman. I like how you word your stuff, Ben, but I got you. Wink, wink. Next, unfortunately, there are a lot of reasons why things could go the way they do in a movie business. He's talking about the massive failure of BVS and the terrible reception of BVS. He says, just because your face is on the poster, he's talking about himself. Just because my face is on the poster doesn't mean that I'm dictating all of those things. And even if I were, that they would even go well. Why, Ben? Because Snyder's the one who made those movies. Hey, bro, you're probably 3 years too late, but better late than never, so they say.
Yeah, look, I think Ben didn't like those movies, but he's coming back for the fans, it seems. I think the fans uproar are like, yay, but I wonder if Ben's regretting it a little bit, seeing, well, am I allowed to be in the Flash now? Do I have to stand with Ray Fisher? What's going on with that? Why? I just want to make movies. I wasn't even paying attention during that shoot. It's complicated now, right?
Wow.
He's put his foot in the complicatedness. So it'll be interesting to see. Does he screw Rick? Was the director? What's his name? The Flash guy. Rick Fam. How do you say his name?
Oh, Andy Muschietti?
Oh, it's Andy Muschietti. That's right. Rick who did The Mandalorian. Famashum. I don't know how to say his last name. But he was doing the Flash originally. And then he came out. He backed out. And now Andy Muschietti is there. Thank you. Sorry.
The two guys. The two dudes.
Rick was first on the Flash, and then I forgot. It's now Andy.
Yeah.
I mixed it up. Both are talented. I like them both. But does he going to screw Andy Muschietti and just be like, yeah, sorry, I have to stand with Ray Fisher now that you pulled him?
No.
It doesn't seem like that's going to happen.
He's really excited. Hey, listen, this gets me excited to see Ben again. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, you will see for the last time and the first time Ben Affleck doing the Batman role by somebody that's not influenced by Zack Snyder at all. We are about to see the greatest Ben Affleck Batman performance, bro. Book it. They're about to have him being the real Batman, bro. Unless they purposely want to make him dark and gloomy so they could contrast into their new Batman. We'll see what happens, but they have the potential to put it on there. I have to wait for that before I call that a Jody Damas.
But anyway, saying beyond all of that, the main story being here is Kevin Feige the best, greatest producer. I think
about George Lucas, man, and Steven Spielberg. You know, J.J. Abrams.
No, it's not JJ. I think Spielberg is. Looking at the top 10 of the all-grossing films, yeah, Lucas, Spielberg, and Cameron are the ones that I would have put up there. Yeah. Successful today, it's Feige. Can Feige last another decade? We shall see. Spielberg, he's had a lot of hits. I would
put George Lucas at the top.
I wouldn't put Lucas. Lucas is just Star Wars. Spielberg has
Star Wars
E.T.,
is
Jurassic Park.
Pop culture ever made. It's bigger than Marvel. Star Wars is bigger than Marvel. It's the biggest franchise on the planet. He made that.
Yeah, but I don't think he produced it well. You know what I'm saying? Like,
he made it though. That's his creation. He produced that whole, whatever it is, good or bad. It's the most profitable, biggest franchise on the planet.
That's a fun fight. Yeah. Well, who is really the most successful? Is it Lucas? Is it Spielberg? Is it Feige? Cameron, I think I can't give it to Cameron just because I don't like Avatar. Just because it was made a lot of money doesn't mean anything to me. Titanic, okay.
He gets more love for Titanic and Terminator 2 than anything.
Yeah, I was gonna say Terminator, but even that, Aliens, etc. But he hasn't made a lot of movies. Cameron checked out. He checked out too early. I wish he had just continued to make movies instead of got lost in the water.
He's gonna make 4 more Avatar movies.
Such a bummer. But so he's out. It's Spielberg. I think you're underestimating Indiana Jones.
Spielberg. No, I got the top 3: Spielberg, Feige, Lucas.
Spielberg and Lucas. I think I'd put Spielberg over Lucas just because I hear you what you're saying, but to me, the greatest producer, the greatest successful producer means a lot of things. But you're right. Is Feige better than those two? What do you think, chat? We can keep that going. That's a tough one. Tell me in the chat what you guys think. But overall, yeah, is Ben throwing shade at Snyder? I don't think he meant to. I see where you're getting it, Jody. Honest. But exactly, I just think he doesn't care anymore, and he's not trying to like play safe and say it. He's clearly feels a certain way.
Oh no, yeah. If that's what you think I mean by him purposely trying to throw shade at Snyder, no. I think his truth is doing it itself.
Yeah, I think he's just doing it unintentionally.
Yeah, I think him telling the truth is unintentionally throwing the shade at Snyder. I don't think he's intentionally doing it. I just think him telling the truth about what he experienced is a negative viewpoint on Zack Snyder and how he did not handle that film well.
Yeah, I'm curious what Zack Snyder thinks of Feige. You'd think he'd have to say, well, yeah, he did really well. He figured out how to do it all. But the difference is Zack's a director, is the reality, and Feige's a producer. But you know what I mean? Like, there is a difference. I mean, Zack produces the films too. He's there, but Zack's more of a creative visionary director. That's why I think it's unfair to compare the two in theory, but because Feige doesn't direct it. He's overseeing so much other stuff. That's why you're right. Lucas could be seen as more of that, but good conversation. We can continue, but that's what we got for this one. Follow Jody's Corner for more information. Always sit up here. You can hit that subscribe button, guys. Even if you're watching live, make sure you're subscribed. Check that bell for all. Smash that like button, and check out these other videos as well. We're not going anywhere. We got some more to talk about with you guys live. If you missed it live, become a member. Hit join, and you can watch the live streams anytime you want. Thanks for watching.